All right. Let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachak Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson.
All right.
This is just going to be various topics. Pretty much I'm on GMS Info Doc Channel 12 now. Because as you can see in front of you, I got a strike on my channel for old video. We was out on 34th and 7th called The Hebrew Calendar is Dictated by the Moon. And I'm watching the video and I'm like, what? How the fuck does this consist of hate speech when all we doing is going through the breakdown of the calendar? You know, so I appealed it, see what's gonna come out of it, but pretty much these devils, they just doing whatever the hell they want to do. It's saying here your channel now has one strike. This means you won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for a week. But when I went to the channel and I'm looking at the content, they're saying that I won't be able to do anything until February, So it's like they're pretty much, they're just doing whatever the hell they want to do. Elder Pastor also mentioned about maybe time to go back to Daily Motion, and I spoke to a few brothers already on it, and they've been trying to go live, not live. They've been trying to figure out how to to set up their phones so that they could, because most brothers now have their phones. They don't even have laptops or computers, because you could do everything off the phone. And with Daily Motion, if you want to upload from your phone, you have to be a partner with them, So the brother was telling me that, So it's like, and what I did was I'm on the desktop, and what I did was I downloaded this app to be able to go live, and then when I try to set it up, it's saying that my channel is not authorized for that. So, it's gonna take some getting used to Daily Motion, but I don't know. The brother was telling me that if that's the case, if we do upload to Daily Motion, that some brothers are gonna have to buy laptops because they only use their phone, and that's how everything is set up now, because the phone is pretty much like a computer. But pretty much my channel, has a strike on it right now. And I won't be able to go live. And I noticed I had set up this channel a while ago, which was the spirit, because if not, I wouldn't have had any way to go live. And pretty much, it's gonna take time, to build this channel back up. But it's all good, So yeah, that's pretty much what these devils are doing. You know what? Let's just go real quick to Amos. I mean, I really don't have anything prepared. I didn't really have a lesson, or anything to set up or speak on in particular. So I'm just gonna go in the spirit, and if not, it'd just be a short video just to get the cobwebs out of this particular channel, And I have the brother Elder Ayathan working on another channel for me, so I can have another backup. So once that gets going, I'm gonna go ahead and post that up so brothers could subscribe, to build it up, to be able to go live on that one also, just in case. All right, Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And this is twofold, meaning there's people out there that are not even hearing the word. The word is out there, they're not hearing it. So there's really like a famine of the word. But also, there's going to come a time where the Lord is going to cut this thing down. It's going to make it lean, so that these Israelites that's been playing games and BSing, won't be able to access this knowledge like it is now. Right now, it's freely out there. But there's going to come a time where they're going to be coming through looking for it, and they're not going to be able to get it. Isaiah 55:6, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Why? Because there's going to come a time where, people are going to, want answers, They're going to want to be able to watch edifying videos on the scriptures from the Hebrew Israelites, and they won't be able to because they're cutting down and cracking down, on everything, So this is why they, brothers better get this while it's available, because there's going to come a time when the Lord is going to withdraw himself and not be so readily available, so to speak. Hosea 5:15, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. And here it is. You have all this information out there, man. Everything, all the mysteries of the scriptures, things being broken down, and Jake is pretty much just despising it. They casting it behind their back. They're making light of it. They're ridiculing it, mocking it. But when misery sets in and they realize that all hell is breaking loose and that their only hope is to get involved with something that they made fun of, they're going to try to get back to it, but it's going to be too late. Proverbs 1:20, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. And this is the main part of this ministry, is on the streets. It's a street ministry. We do sit downs and live shows and impromptus and quick hits and on the moves and all of that, which is all good, walking talks and all that. But the main ministry is when we go out there on the corners and teach this word, on the streets and in the main concourse of whatever city brothers are at. It says she crieth in the chief place of concourse, and the chief place of concourse would be places like your downtown areas, where people would gather for commerce, and back in the days, the agora, which is the marketplace, is where people would gather to buy, to sell, to debate, to have open discussions about the scriptures, This is Acts chapter 17, verse 16. Now, while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry, because you had a lot of Israelites there that were deep into idolatry. It says, therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. So the Apostle Paul was daily in these markets, and the word market is the word agora, which means any assembly, especially of the people, the place of assembly for public debating, for elections, for trials, for buying and selling, for all kinds of business, marketplace, street. So the main place we're supposed to be at, propagating this word or teaching this word, preaching this word, prophesying this word, is on the streets. That's the agora. And this is what the Apostle Paul did. He did this daily. Daily. All right. So going back to Proverbs 1:20, she crieth in the chief place of concourse. Now let's look up this word concourse, see what it means. Hamah. It says to murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud. And that's what we do when we're out there on the streets. We're roaring, crying aloud. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Psalms 58. And then, I'm sorry, not Psalms 58, Isaiah 58. And then from there, we'll go to Isaiah 13. But let's go back. Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins. Why? Because the Most High is fair. He allows you to know, he'll give judgment, but he'll allow you to know why the judgment is coming. And if you hear, listen, understand, obey, and get yourself together, that will relieve you or exempt you from judgment to come. But if you don't, if you make light of it and you ridicule the Lord, by ridiculing his men, what's going to happen is when the time comes for your calamities to come upon you, the Lord is going to ridicule you. Isaiah 13:2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. The banner is the Bible. The high mountain is America, the top government. Exalt the voice unto them. Meaning when we speak, we speak, with a lot, speaking aloud like you blow a trumpet. Shake the hand, because when you exalt in your voice and you're shaking your hand, you're telling somebody off, that they may go into the gates of the nobles, because eventually, the people out here are gonna want some kind of answers or something to be done about what we're teaching, because we're teaching the truth, and the truth is very offensive to the world, because they can't accept it, because it's not in them, it's not in them, because this is the spirit of truth. This is pure energy. This is pure this is pure energy. This is pure a pure spirit that's being poured out there, and they can't get it because it's not given to them. It says, St. John 14:17, even the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive. So it says they can't receive it. It's very uncomfortable to them. And because it's so uncomfortable to them, they want something to be done so that it can that nagging sound that they hear can be pushed away or be done away with. Because they don't want reproof, or they don't want reproof because they're wicked. Hebrews 4:12, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So this word is very piercing. So people are going to want something to be done for it to be removed out of the way. And this is why now the platforms that are used to push this word out, to teach this word, preach this word, are being attacked. With all type of stipulations and all kind of bullshit. They're striking brothers' channels for old ass videos that they had on there during 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the past. They're just going and clipping stuff. Matter of fact, since the up and coming elder Uriah is on here from the head of the Seattle camp, there was when I was out there with them brothers, we would go live on Saturdays. So one video that they struck, or they not even struck, they removed, was an old video from 2 years ago when we were live out in Seattle. Because this word is very uncomfortable to these people. So let's read that again. Even the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but you know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. So this word is starting to be very uncomfortable to these people. John 7:7, the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. And they're calling what we're saying hate speech, but it's not hate speech, it's truth. That's why the Apostle Paul said, am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And that's what's going on. We're being persecuted for telling the truth, but hey, so be it. Our Lord was persecuted for telling the truth, and it's not us that is not going to be persecuted. So going back to Isaiah 13:2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles, because they're going to want to eventually stop this. So the word concourse is to murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud, mourn, rage, sound, make noise, tumult, be clamorous. So how can all these things be? Because these things are going to be, because we're going to be out on the streets. When the Apostle Paul spoke, what would happen? Tumults and riots would break out. Why? Because what he was saying, which was the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, were very piercing to the people. So they say, you know what, man, we're going to have to kill this dude, man. Because he's saying things to us that, why is he speaking to us like this? I don't want to hear this shit. And that's what it is. This truth makes people very uncomfortable. Because it's a testimony and a witness against them that something is coming down the pike, that's going to destroy them. And they know this in their spirit. So they don't want to be reminded of that. That's why them demons, when Yahushua came and healed people back then, they was like, are you come to torment us before our time? Because these demons are in people. These demons are real. They're in these people. When you see, when we come up on a level, we understand. We still get emotional because, we're still in the flesh. But when these people act up and do things that piss us off, don't think that it's them. It's them demons that's in them that know who we are, that make these people do those things so that you can get in a fist fight or whatever the case is with that person. Then after y'all knock each other senseless, that demon left that person, and now all of a sudden what's left? The cops coming, people getting locked up, And that demon that was in that person that made you get into that fight with that person is gone now, because they accomplished their mission. You see, that's why the scripture said we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So them demons know who we are, so they'll make people do shit to get up under our skin. You know, and pretty much like I said, the first emotion is emotion. You know, to get upset, and to want to get carnal. But then that's when the spirit kicks in. St. John 3:18, because you got to remember what we're teaching. This word that we're teaching it makes people uncomfortable, and these people have demons on them. And because they have demons on them, it makes it super uncomfortable for them. So all they want you to do is just to be quiet. At least the demon that's in them be exorcised out. And that's what happened to all of us when we first came into the Lord first brought us into the truth. The demon that we had on us got exorcised by the word. You see? St. John 3:18, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High. And this is very important. And this is the condemnation. That light is coming to the world, which who is the light? Yahushai. So when we speak in these words, we speak in Yahushai. And because people do not want to hear Yahushai, they're going to shun us. They're going to want us to shut the hell up. They're going to want to do us damage. You know, just like they were doing to Yahushai back then. And men love darkness rather than light. Why? Because the light, when you turn the light on, when you're dead and knocked out, and somebody turns the light on, what are you doing? Your eyes are squinting. You're like, yo, man, what the fuck you doing, man? Turn this shit off, So you got to look at it like that spiritually. That we're shining Yahushai on the world, and the people are like, yo, what the hell, man? Turn that off, man. We don't want, come on, man. Turn this shit off, man. I want to go back to sleep. Because their deeds were evil. See, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. So these people hate the light, so they're going to hate what we're teaching, what we're saying. Because it's not us that they're hating. It's Yahushai that they're hating. Let's go to St. John 15:20, I believe it is. Remember the word which I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. See, and then pretty much they're not gonna want to hear this word. And there's another one that says if they hate me, they hate me, or if they hate you, they hated me before they hated you. It says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sins. See, so they don't have no excuse now. And this is why the Most High is going to open up on them. And this is why they're striking pages. Going to strike my page for a Hebrew calendar. We're breaking down Hebrew calendar being dictated by the moon. And they said this violates our hate speech policy. So they hit me with a hate speech strike for a video that's breaking down the calendar according to the moon. Why? Because the world, the light, the evil is not going to come to light. Or they're not going to want to come to the light. Especially when the spotlight is being shined on them. Neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. See? So they don't want their deeds to be reproved. Because this word is very uncomfortable to those that are not a part of it. But he that doeth truth, that's why the Apostle Paul said that this truth is a savor of death to those that perish, pretty much. It says, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. Why? Because, a member of the elect is going to want to come to the light to be purged, to be purified, to have the light shine upon him. So this word, concourse, is a heavy word, man. We read about agora, in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, it's concourse. Be disquieted, be loud, be moved, be troubled, be in an uproar. And that happened. When the Apostle Paul was out there speaking, right, on the streets, and a riot broke out. That was out where? On the streets. He wasn't in some dungeon somewhere or in an alley, or in a tight room somewhere, and then all of a sudden a riot broke out. No, there was a riot that broke out. Why? Because he was outside in the streets. To growl, to murmur of soul in a prayer, to roar, to be in a stir, be in a commotion. And then when you out there on them streets, in a place of concourse, there's all kind of commotion going on. You have people performing on the streets, playing music, talking shit, selling wares, just a whole lot of commotion, traffic, sirens blaring from police vehicles or emergency vehicles, ambulances, So there's all kind of commotion going on out there. To be boisterous, be turbulent, right? And then if any of you that haven't been to New York, it's very loud out there. People speak with a very loud voice because it's so loud out there. So much that you go down into the subway and you really got to be loud in the subway because it gets real noisy under there. So let's go back. It says she crieth in the chief place of concourse. What's crying? Wisdom, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. In the openings of the gates, in the city she uttereth her voice, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And pretty much that's what we're saying, because the Lord said that my people is foolish. So being that they're foolish, when we out there speaking, this is the Lord speaking to them and telling them, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Because there's no excuse to be simple, because the truth is out. It says, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. And you see that, because this applies to them scoffers. And the scorners delight in their scornings, and fools hate knowledge. Why do they hate knowledge? Because they don't want to come to the light. This light is too bright, it's too pure. So the only thing that they could do to battle it is what? To ridicule it, to talk bad about it, to try to stop it. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. So when we were out there being simple, the Lord caused us to turn to him. So what? So that simplicity that we had would be gone. And we could have our minds changed. We could come to that light. It says, because I have called and you refused. So a lot of Israelites out there whom the Lord has called, they refused. You got your G-Cons and your Sister Cherries and your Polites and your Sonettas and, all these other different individuals that have come against the truth over the years. And they refused. You have some of them that even came to the Passover. The lamb was good, the wine was good. What about the bitter herbs? That devil ain't touched the bitter herbs. I have stretched out my hand, and you know whose fault that is? That was General Yohana's fault. For letting a sleazy scumbag like that come to the Passover, a holy assembly of supposed to be a holy assembly of the Lord. Very precious thing that Yahushua did. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. See, so these jakes are not regarding what the Lord is doing and saying out here. It says, but you have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. Yeah, because no matter how the Lord put it through the mouth of his prophets, you never listened. You cast every nope, that ain't nope, this ain't nope, not. No matter what you bring out, say nope, that ain't it, nope, that nope, you can't, nope. I had this one dude years ago, going back to the 90s, he's one of them dudes that was in prison. He came out of prison, so he's now in this outreach program, and I'm we going back and forth, talking about the scriptures. And at first I was just going to cut him off, but then I thought about that scripture, convince the gainsayer. So I'm sitting there going back and forth with him, and he looked at me because he saw that I was, I was sincere. And he said, look, you're not going to convince me. And then from that point on, I just left it alone. See, because he saw that that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to convince him, but you know what? I was wasting my time. And the demon that was in him told him to tell me that. And I left it alone. because he was already convicted in his mind that he wasn't budging from what he was in. His conscience was seared with a hot iron. Why? Because they didn't want the reproof of the Lord. So since you rejected the Lord, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Because hell is coming, man. The Lord just don't say stuff. The Lord said that his words don't go out void. There's going to come a time of reckoning. And when that time of reckoning comes, these people that have made fun of the truth, they're going to be in a bad case. Matter of fact, that's in what? 2 Ezra 9. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Right here. 2 Ezra 9 and 9. Let me see. All right, it says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. See? And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. So you're going to have these Israelites that's going to dwell in torments. So when the Lord said, when your calamity comes, the Lord's going to laugh at your calamity. And when your fear comes, he's going to mock at your fear. Let's look up the word calamity. Ayad. Distress, burden, calamity. What's this? The time of Jacob's trouble. Because this time of trouble is coming. And those that get themselves together will benefit from the truth and the protection of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And those that have made light of it and ridiculed it are going to be jacked up. And the Most High is going to be laughing at you. Which means his men are going to be laughing at you. Calamity of nation, disaster of wicked, day of calamity. So when all hell breaks out and you're caught up in these situations and you're crying, the same individual that was mocking the word of the Lord, mocking the men of the Lord, now you crying, you got snot coming out your nose, boogers coming out your eyes, you got blood leaking out of you from some wound you received from the enemy. You're going to be crying to the Lord, oh Lord, please, oh Lord, help me. And the Lord's going to mock your ass because you mocked him when you had the opportunity to get yourself together. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me. Remember, the Lord said that I will go and return to my place. Let's go. Hosea 5:15, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early. But what did the Lord say? Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Because since you mocked his counsel, his men, his word, it says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. See? So you got to get it while the getting's good. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. See? So you're not going to be able to find the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in that day. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Boom. Because this is that light. And when this light is shined on the world hates it. You see? Because the whole world is in wickedness. Let's go real quick to, what is that, 2 John? No, 1 John 5. And we know that we are of the Most High, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. So the whole world is lying in wickedness. So that's why they don't want the knowledge of the Lord. That's why they don't choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Because how long has the Lord been out here pushing his word? Going back from the 60s. And even prior to that, when Elder Abba Bivens was out there teaching the word. And they're still rejecting it. And it's like now, you would think that by now they would have accepted it, after all this bullshit that Jake has gone through. But they are rejecting it even more now. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Why? Because this truth is our benefit for salvation. And they're pushing away the very thing that will help them in these calamitous times. Let's go real quick to Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. That's what's going to keep us stable in these times, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and strength of salvation. Because the words of the Lord are quick and powerful. The word of the Lord is powerful. You know, and this is what's going to save us. That's the ticket out of here. You know? And the elect will receive it. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. See? But these Jakes, they refusing it. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And that's why the Lord said that my servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. See? My servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. So that was pretty much it on that. Let's finish out here. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. See? And that's what's happening right. That's what's about to happen. Because see, right now the word of the Lord is available. But this is why you see the main vehicle that we use is YouTube to push this word out. And you see that they're really acting up now. Because really what it is it started as a thing of, it was a people's platform to say what they had to say. But now that these corporations, which the corporations always fuck everything up. Now that these corporations are taking over, now if you're not making them money, they don't want you on here. You see? It's always that greed. And that's what Esau does through his corporations. So ever since they took over, now everything's getting more and more strict. Now, you know, they really don't want people on here that they're not making money off of. You know, so in other words, that free ride is over. You know, the only way you can be on here is if, you know, you are making them money. So they're looking for any excuse to hit you with hate speech to get rid of your channel. And that's why every account you open, now they want it hooked up to your phone. And after a while of being everything hooked up to you can't go live on this phone, or you can't make another account on this phone. You have too many accounts on this phone. But I didn't want to hook up my phone to this shit anyway. But it's all done systematically. Remember, the scriptures say that the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. They know exactly what they're doing. They're not stupid. It says, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst, because you're going to have a lot of people out here that's going to be fainting for this word. They that swear by the sin of Samaria and say, thy God, O Dan, liveth, and the man of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again. And you still have Jakes out there that are holding on to those old ways and the old things that they did back then. But today they just have it under different names. You know, plantation Christianity, you know, the different denominations, Islam, and all the other crap that they're going by today. You see? So it's going to get bad out here, man. It's going to get bad. And that's why they're striking channels. Striking a channel for breaking down that the Hebrew calendar is dictated by the moon. Now that's ridiculous. And they hit that with a hate speech. It violates our hate speech policy. Hebrew calendar is dictated by the moon was removed because it violates our hate speech policy. What the fuck? You know? But that's all right. You know, it is what it is. So for now, I'm going to be going live here, you know, on GMS Info Doc Channel 12. You brothers that were present today at the water for being there. And if you could just pass the word out, you know, to the rest of the Akim out there, so that, you know, and the Aquath, so that they can come here and watch the lessons, you know. So with that, you know, I pray that your brothers have been edified. And till the next time I say, Shalom. And money, they don't want you on here. You see? It's always that greed. And that's what Esau does through his corporations. So ever since they took over, now everything's getting more and more strict. Now they really don't want people on here that they're not making money off of. So in other words, that free ride is over. The only way